Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for this next Tuesday album review, and I know I just have a Tuesday album review premiering tonight at midnight. Before this video, of course, this is for episode 6 for Red End of Silence, the 2006 album that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys for this 11-track record. I didn't want to do the deluxe edition one, the 10th anniversary edition, because I don't feel it necessary to do that personally. But I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 11 songs off this Red End of Silence album and let you know my thoughts on this about almost 50-minute album or so. So let's dive into this album review now. It starts with intro, End of Silence. Great intro track. I really like the piano and violin. Musicality-wise, the song is really good. Leading into the next song, Breathe Into Me, which is a personal favorite track, so 5 out of 5 for intro, End of Silence. Really ominous intro to the record, but still a great track. Breathe Into Me, great song from what I listened to. Really enjoyed this track. With Michael Barnes' vocals in this, and his scream vocals are quite outstanding, and this track definitely rocks for sure, and it's a really amazing track. The music video is interesting too, so really like the music video too, so 5 out of 5. Let Go was an interesting track that I really enjoyed from Red. It was pretty lengthy of a track, but I just like how musicality wise it sounds really amazing musically, and Michael Barnes' vocals are really outstanding in this track, and just guitar wise, drum wise, violin wise, it's a great song. So 5 out of 5. Already Over was an interesting one. It had some depressive vibes to it, but I think it starts getting more into the emotional side of this record for the first half. Maybe like some of the first half, at least close to the end of the first half of the record, gets slightly emotional, but it closes out pretty well and with a slightly hopeful note. So, and they, at the time, they were more influenced in the Christian metal side of things, and they talked about God in their music and all that. So basically, Already Over is a great song, so 5 out of 5. Lost is a great song too that I enjoyed. It's another 5-minute track, but really excellent song. I love the melody to it. Michael Barnes' singing is outstanding. Excuse my yawning. Michael Barnes' singing is pretty outstanding in this track, and just musically, execution-wise, this track did impress me with his vocals, and there was some emotional tone with his vocals with this one that sounded really outstanding. So, made me feel, basically, it almost felt like I was getting lost with this song for sure. In a more deep dive of emotional feelings in a way. Then comes Pieces, a very sad song by the way, and very emotional track. Was what I listened to, talking about a relationship that didn't work out, and he's coming to the woman in pieces to make him whole again, and then I guess a mistake was made, and he wanted to recorrect it by coming to her in pieces and trying to fix his mistake to make him whole again. So it's really sad, emotional vibe I got from this track. I really felt for this song, and in a good way, because it was a great song. Made you feel a lot of things. So 5 out of 5. Break Me Down is going into the second half of the record, and this is a great song too. I really like this one, so another 5 out of 5. I think Michael Barnes' singing and some of his screaming is pretty good, so really enjoyed this track. Wasting Time was a pretty good song in its own way. I like the scream vocals, but this song, the tone of it, I don't know how I was feeling about it. It was pretty good in its own way, but it had its hit and miss points in this track. So sorry about the background noise. My nephew's throwing a fit. Wasting Time's getting a 4.75 out of 5. Gave It All Away is a pretty good song in its own way for how it sounds. I am so sorry about that background noise. So, pretty much, I think with this song, Michael Barnes' singing and his screaming is interesting, but it's the execution that I have. It has its points of interesting me and kind of making me feel odd about this song. Like, okay, this song is pretty good, but it could be a least favorite for sure. So, 4.75 out of 5. Hideaway, or Hide, I should say, is the song's name. I'm sorry, I said Hideaway by mistake. I thought of Gave It All Away by mistake. Um, Hide is a strong track. I really like this song going into the next track, which is the closing track, the Already Over Part 2 song. This is a great song, Hide. I really enjoyed the violin work, the guitar work, and just musically and classic instrumental wise, it sounds really good. So, Michael Barnes' vocals are amazing, and just this song is amazing. It's definitely a strong S for me, in my opinion, meaning 5 out of 5. Already Over Part 2 is a great outro to this whole album, End of Silence. So I really enjoyed this song because it brings a lot of light and a lot of hope into this track. And just the way the tone of the track sounds, it's very ominous and interesting. And it does lead into the next album, which is Innocence and Instinct, which I will be reviewing that in due time. But still, Already Over Part 2, great track. Definitely recommend it, and a 5 out of 5 for me. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I found myself really enjoying Red End of Silence. This was a great record, a really strong record. I mean, two of the songs, Wasting Time and Gave It All Away, were my hit or miss songs that I wasn't sure if I liked or not, but they're still strong in its own way. Just has a few minor weak execution points in the track, with mostly the tones of the songs and how they sound. But they're not terrible songs, they're just mediocre at least. But overall, strong record. Definitely recommend this album for sure if you want to get started on listening to Red, the Christian metal band's discography. They are a great band. They do a lot of different things with their sound. Their new record, Rated R, was actually really strong. It was probably interesting. It was a good record, but for 10 songs, it didn't offer much for a 33-minute album or 30-plus minute album. So it was a short record, I'll tell you that, for Rated R. But overall, if I were to give this record a score, 9.5 out of 10 is what I'm feeling for End of Silence by Red. It's a strong record, definitely rocks for sure. Highly recommend you check this out. Like I said, if you want to get started on Red's discography, this is the album to do it. To continue on from there. Because their records do get better. I know a lot of people said Release to Panic was not really their best, but it just depends on the listener. So, basically, 9.5 out of 10 for Red End of Silence for their 2006 record. Thanks for watching this Tuesday album review today.